As you probably know, we sell a good number of clay pipes and clay pipe styles at pipeshop.com. But there is one pipe I would really love to be able to offer to our customers. This was the first, and for a couple of decades, my only clay pipe. I picked it up sometime in the early 1970s in or around Philadelphia in a shop that is no doubt long gone. Hi, Ken Brewster here for Brewing Smoke. This clay is one I kept for special occasions because it was unusual in that it was a clay pipe, while my other pipes were mainly briar and maybe I had a meerschaum at the time. I have no idea which company made this pipe, but it has a true glazed tip, the glazing done in a second kiln firing after the pipe had gone through the brisk firing. It has a circle on the bowl with 12 stars and the letters T and D embedded in the mold, and has a checkered pattern covering the rest of the bowl. This was probably made in England. There are numerous examples of TD pipes on the web, and most are antiques. I haven't been able to find out when this was made, but I'm pretty sure it was new when I bought it, which in itself qualifies it as an antique. I mention this pipe because I was smoking it on New Year's Day 2017, and it got me thinking about doing a video on the history of clay pipes. This will likely be the first in a series of clips going into the history of these smoking instruments that have become not only collector's items, but recognized as excellent tobacco pipes in their own right. When tobacco was introduced to England around 1585, it made quite a sensation, even though in his haste to rush this new weed to the Queen, Sir Walter left the rolling papers back in Boston, where they are now being put to good use 432 years later. The explorers had seen the native people using a tube with a spoon-like area that held the tobacco while it was smoked, and had the local English pipe makers replicate the design in clay. Here are some examples of native clay pipes. The one depicting a fish has a draw tube and a flat area for holding the tobacco or other sacred herbs. After experimenting with the flat spoon-style pipe, European pipe makers shaped the tobacco end into a bowl. The early pipes were just large enough to hold a pinch of tobacco, which was scarce until later in the 17th century. When the Dutch settled into New Amsterdam, they brought Gouda-style pipes. By the 1700s, thousands of clay pipes were produced all over the colonies. Popular in the pubs and taverns of the day were the long pipes. Just as when you go to a pub today, you aren't expected to bring your own glass or mug, in those days you could count on the pub to provide a clay pipe for the patrons. For good hygiene, a smoker would often break a little of the tip off either before or after smoking a pipe, before returning it so the next guy could enjoy a bowl. Although pirates and bullies probably got away with just smashing the pipe to pieces when they were done. But I wasn't there, so I'm not sure. Clay pipes stayed popular even though cigars had always been around, and cigarettes came on the scene in the mid-1800s, when briar and other wood pipes were also coming into vogue. The clay pipe continued to enjoy a following, not only because they were quite cheap and found just about everywhere, but because mold makers were designing a wide variety of interesting pipe styles, many depicting historical and popular figures, and intricate bowl and stem designs. I wanted to start this series with a brief overview of the history of clay pipes. In future videos, I will try to go into more depth about various pipe styles popular in the New World during colonial times, and later as well as pipes made in England, Holland, Germany, and other parts of the world, but keeping the focus of this series on clay pipes as much as possible. Well, I thank you for watching, and let me know if you have any feedback or if you have an interesting story about a clay pipe. And until next time, this is Ken Brewster, fading out.